If this is your first time watching this show, I am a filmmaker who makes movies based on analyzing creative brands, their creators, and the ins and outs of those brands. David Dobrik started his Views Talk Show that was a podcast. He is now a talk show host within his own home. This is one of his dream opportunities of a career. He wants to be a movie director and a talk show host, so he's starting one of those already. Since David has brought his Views podcast to a talk show based format with beautiful angles, beautiful set design, all of these things that make a quality show worth watching, well, he has basically gained his leverage by starting this in his own home. He doesn't have to go to a studio. His studio is within his home. He wakes up and goes to work. This also gains him more leverage, whereas if you see Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon, they'd have to invite their guests onto the show that is in a studio in the city. All David has to do is text them, hey, come over, let's record a show. Not only does this gain him more leverage of authenticity by being in his own home with these major celebrities, but it brings a different atmosphere to the show. We are used to YouTube in the raw, authentic format that it brings us, so we automatically just want to watch this as a YouTube video, but it is a really fancy produced show. But he also gets major brand deals and does affiliate marketing with different companies like any other YouTube creator that wants to make money not off of monetization of ads on your videos, the big bucks. On Views, we could see brands like Honey as his most recent brand deal, where he literally is talking with Madison Beer and just shooting ideas around, literally just talking to her as a friend because that's who they are. This gives him a really massive payout. People believe in David, his personality, and him as a person. Everybody wants to be his friend. If you watch his videos, you probably like his personality before anything. So when he gives us the Honey ad, we are that much more in tune with actually using it and getting him his payout that he deserves by including a big brand like Honey or any other huge company that might want to sponsor his content because he just gains that much leverage and return of investment. If they pay him $100,000 for this ad, he's going to make them millions in return off of this one small portion of his podcast Views Talk Show. David is then already immediately able to monetize his talk show views in return. That is nothing like we've ever seen before. This is the first talk show of this kind on any kind of platform that is not television. Who watches television anymore anyways? Any other talk show host that has been on TV now has this weird Zoom phone call aesthetic to their approach for anyone that they interview. Not David. David literally built his own studio in a bedroom in his house that is millions of dollars in itself. So he has that opportunity to create this authentic atmosphere around his content, just like he has before with his YouTube videos that he used to make, his TikTok videos. Everything is just centered around his personality. Therefore, he's able to scale up this business. Think about it this way. If you watch his TikToks and you want more of his personality, you could just watch this Views podcast talk show. And things like his TikTok aren't stopping. He's still continuing to make social content besides just his Views talk show, but it still brings him that much more attention and his audience is growing that much more in terms of what people want to watch. Sometimes you have more time on your hands than just scrolling through a bunch of TikTok videos and you're willing to sit there for 40 minutes and just watch David or listen to him talk. Typically you might want to watch this though because that's what he made this show for. It is no surprise, but David has actually made one of his dreams come true, just like that. After he has built his audience, he has immediately gained a good return of investment or a good business model of this Views talk show on YouTube. Where it might take most people to build up an audience on YouTube and gain this sort of fan base that is willing to listen through these ads, David already has that audience. He actually has one of the biggest, most loyal audiences in the world. He is more than just a YouTuber at this point. I think we should all recognize that. And he has proved how much more likely he is to succeed on a platform like this, a sort of structure and approach that is produced on YouTube of this sort. Whereas if you come from TV after 20, 10, 5 years, whatever it may be, it's going to be a lot harder for you to recognize the audience and how it works on YouTube. People want authenticity. They don't want a really suit and tie high production that Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel might give us. Most of David's audience is already on YouTube. He knows that and he's giving us exactly what we want, and I'm sure that this channel is going to be at 10 million before we know it, and he's going to be one of the biggest talk show hosts that has ever been because he's the first of his kind. He has that opportunity.